Hi, what's up, everyone? Welcome to another brand new episode of Did That Age Well? We are here in the brand new studio of Dude IDK. If you haven't heard, here's the latest news. Dude IDK is in a new studio, so you should check out the shows that are coming up. It's gonna be super cool, and you're gonna get used to seeing me here in a space that is almost the same, but just not really. Today, oh my God, you guys are so lucky. I'm so thrilled for myself, for my audience, our audience. Today we have repeat guest of the pod, traveled from out of town, over the river and through the woods. We've got Ces Lowdermilk. Welcome back to Did That Age Well?
Thank you, Molly. It's good to be back.
Did you know that our episode on My Favorite Murder is the most popular episode of Did That Age Well?
That's so interesting. I did not know that.
And guess what? That was your idea.
It was my idea?
Yeah, because we were going to record something on a movie, something normal. And then all of that stuff with My Favorite Murder happened where it was the internet was having a reckoning. And you said, I think we need to discuss this on the mic.
We need
and then we gathered the girls.
Yeah.
We said, assemble.
All the OG MFM fans.
Exactly. The murderinos.
And Molly, my question to you also is,
oh, she's got questions already.
yeah, I've got some questions.
Okay.
Do you still listen to it or
No. I haven't listened to it in years.
After that episode, I didn't listen for a while, and I've recently been dipping my toe back in.
Yeah.
And enjoying
how is it? You're having a good time.
I'm loving it.
Look, we are all capable of growth. Every woman has the right to change her mind.
We can change our minds. Yep.
Men, not so much.
Yeah.
Well, women are complex.
We are.
And I love
changed
that
my
for
mind
us.
1,000 times.
1,000 times. Is My Favorite Murder good? Is it bad? Is it somewhere in the middle?
Every other day I think something. I think one of those.
You think one of those things?
Flip flop.
She's a flip-flopper.
Snip snap. Yeah.
Yeah, and I get that. Cess, I want to know, if you were in a cover band, what kind of music would you play? A la
my gosh.
The Wedding Singer, the movie we were discussing today.
Okay, so I watched this movie, The Wedding Singer, about a month ago. And ever since then, I have been listening to the soundtrack pretty consistently.
Wow. Okay, that's great.
It's a pretty consistent thing. I love Flock of Seagulls.
Okay, great.
And there's this, I think it's called New Age love song.
Okay.
On the soundtrack. And I would love to be in a band like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that for you,
Yeah.
Cess.
I don't know that I could do that hairdo where it's the waves and the horns and the swoops, but I could. I have the hair. I have enough hair.
Look, you have enough hair. You just might require glam.
I have hair to spare.
You might just need to hire glam for that excursion. Yeah. And look, money doesn't grow on trees, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like, speaking of the soundtrack, I forget that Adam Sandler actually has a good voice. I forget that all the time because he sings his silly songs. Yes. And then he got up on that mic.
Yes.
And I was like, oh yeah.
Someone kill me. I loved it. I thought he could have gone either way. He could have had a music career or what he did have.
He's a multi-hyphenate, as they say in the biz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A true double threat.
Truly. Did he dance? No, we can't. We
can't confirm the triple.
We cannot confirm a triple or quadruple, but we do know that he has at least 2 talents showcased in this film.
Really beautiful talents.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was wonderful to witness. Yeah.
I truly don't love Adam Sandler. We've talked about it on the podcast before because Nick and I talked about Little Nicky, which is maybe not one of his best.
Yeah.
But I really like Adam Sandler in kind of more of a rom-com role.
Yeah.
He and Drew Barrymore have good chemistry.
I like this movie. Amazing chemistry.
I like 50 First Dates. So I don't know. I really was catching myself by surprise when I enjoyed this so much.
I'm so glad to hear that.
Yeah.
I don't remember Little Nicky. Was that about the devil or something?
It was, yeah. Okay. So you do remember a little bit.
I guess I do.
A little remember. Little Nicky, little remember. So stupid. I'm sorry. Okay, so yeah, what is your history with this movie? Obviously, you watched it a month ago, texted me immediately and said, get me on the mic. I have some things to share.
I'd love to give the backstory because
thank you.
I got the idea to watch it again I was watching that new Netflix show with Kate Hudson called Running Point.
Okay.
Didn't I tell you about that? It's amazing. She's like, she like becomes like the manager of like, it's not the Lakers, but it's like based on it.
Yeah, totally.
And it's an amazing show for anyone that hasn't watched it.
Oh, great.
And it's hilarious. And one of her brothers in the show was like, went through a breakup and was like in his bed crying watching The Wedding Singer. And I thought, oh my God, I haven't watched this in forever.
Oh my God.
And I was 13 when it came out. It came out in 1998. So it had been a while.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I was nervous because the last movie that I was like, oh my gosh, Molly, we should do this for your podcast was 16 Candles. And
look how that turned out.
It's literally one of the most horrific, however you want to say it. It does not age well. It's like really sickening.
It's sickening. It's
not racist.
Not in like the drag queen like sickening way, but in like the wanna puke sickening. Yeah. When people ask me like, oh, what's one movie that really didn't age well? I usually say 16 Candles. Yeah. Because
it's such a bummer too.
It's the truth. I
because
know.
Jake Ryan's so hot.
Girl,
and when he's
he always will
standing, leaning against his car in the end of the movie,
that
like
sweater vest, girl.
Wow. Still think about that a lot.
And I will go to the grave saying that specific scene ages just fine.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah. It's
the rest of it pretty bad.
Yeah.
Okay, so you had the idea to rewatch it and then but you were nervous and then you rewatched it and you were like, "Oh my gosh, what a thrill. It is good."
I'm like, Molly, what are we going to talk about? Because I think it did age well.
That's it. And thank you so much for joining us.
And now we're going to be talking about Katy Perry. No, just kidding.
Tune in for 45 minutes about Katy Perry. Just kidding, but we will allocate approximately 20. Okay, so let's get, are we ready to get into the movie? Do we have anything else to yap about before we get into it?
No.
I mean, okay, great.
No. Let's do this.
Okay, let's do this.
Let's do the damn thing.
I couldn't agree more. Okay, so Robbie, played by Adam Sandler, he is, you guessed it, a wedding singer. And I just want to say right off the bat, I really resent that Linda, his ex-fiance, tells him like, oh, I miss the old you when you were like, glam rock or whatever. Like, he's a man with a stable job.
Yeah.
What's not to like?
What is not to like? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I hate
doing what he loves.
I don't like when you break up with somebody and then tell them, I wish you were the person you used to be.
That is so, I mean, like, what are you supposed to say to that? Sorry.
Sorry I've grown and evolved.
Sorry I've evolved.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I already resent her for that. I love that he's a wedding singer. I love that he is also doing some gigs at bat mitzvahs. I love that he's again, a multi-hyphenate. He can do it all. Find yourself a man that can do it all.
Yeah. I'm trying. Do you, Molly?
I'm blushing. Okay. So in one of the first scenes when he is at a wedding and there is a drunk brother that goes up to the mic.
Oh, I loved it.
I loved it.
Steve Buscemi.
Don't we all know that feeling when you profile somebody, when they fit the stereotype of this will be bad?
Yeah.
And you just clench your butthole for about 90 seconds until someone takes the mic away.
Yeah. Like being in that audience, I would have had such secondhand embarrassment.
Oh my God. I had secondhand embarrassment and it wasn't even real.
Yeah. I was like, it was getting flushed. Yeah. Like, but Steve Buscemi was hysterical. I loved that part. I loved it.
I love it.
Have you been to a wedding before where there has been like a toast and it's really cringy?
Yes, I have. I've been to a couple.
Dang.
I have been to one where they did and if you ever get married, listener, don't do this. And I feel like I shouldn't even have to say that. but if you have common sense, maybe this is something that you already know. After the kind of like more official speeches, they just said open mic.
Open mic night.
Open mic night. And the one person who you're like, oh, I hope he doesn't take the mic, was the first one to take the mic.
I love it. I love that.
Yeah. So he had his moment to shine, and that was just fine. I also went to a wedding where the dad of the bride, one of the brides, gave a speech, and it was like so mean. He was just like being mean.
Papa?
Yes. He was just like, yeah, he was just like being a bitch.
That's so sad.
I know. It was horrible. It was so sad.
Yeah.
So I guess that's not really that funny.
No. Doesn't fall into that category.
No, but it was one of those moments where like everyone was kind of like frozen.
Yeah. I bet at one where like the best man basically did like a roast instead of a toast. And it was like, oh, this is sad. This is a bummer.
Sad.
This is a bummer. But I loved the part where Steve Buscemi like took the guitar and started playing.
Me too.
And he's like, no lessons, self-taught. That
He
was
said,
a great
"I'm the
part.
best.
And
No
they're trying to like
lessons,
take
self-taught."
it away from him.
Yeah.
That was great.
He's got, you know, if he's got anything, it's confidence.
Yeah.
And that'll get you far.
Well, I think
sometimes.
it's the alcohol that really
And I
gave it
think
to
he
him.
really had that on his side.
Yeah, I don't think he was actually confident.
Probably not. You know what? I think you're right, Cess.
It's a facade.
I think that you have clocked him for who he is.
Yeah.
Okay, so Robbie gets left at the altar. Oh,
It was so interesting. I felt like throughout this movie there were so many quick timelines.
yeah.
Like, oh, I'm getting married next week.
Oh my God, they do that all the time in 90s movies. And
Yeah.
it makes me wonder, sorry to reveal my age, sorry I'm a young person, but I just like, I don't know if in the 90s people were just able to get married quickly.
Yeah.
If booking a venue and like all that kind of stuff didn't take a year and a half.
Yeah, like what the wedding culture was like in the 80s and 90s.
What was the culture like? Or
Yeah.
is it just, you know, kind of we're living in that movie magic? We're living in that, you know, suspension of disbelief.
Yeah, for sure.
But either way, I will accept it.
Yeah.
But I have questions.
Yeah, because remember like when Julia is planning her wedding and they're like working with his friend who's the limo driver and like timing him.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, it's next Saturday.
Yeah,
So
it's
and I'm like,
next week.
wait, what?
What?
So you're just waiting this long to book somebody?
Right.
Or yeah, maybe it was a quicker timeline. Maybe the wedding industry
Right.
today has gotten out of hand.
And you know what? Thank you for saying that because it has.
Yeah.
I think it really
Yeah.
has.
Oh, I know.
Booking a venue,
Yeah.
like that should be
Years in advance.
Years.
Yeah.
Years in advance
Mm-hmm.
to be in like an empty room.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That's wild, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And an injustice. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the queen, Drew Barrymore.
Yeah. Oh, she is so cute in this.
She's so cute. Did you ever have one of those like flippy haircuts?
No. Did you?
I tried.
Yeah.
I sure tried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was like the quintessential like 90s girl in this with like the Doc
yeah.
Martens and like the daisy sundress. And her
Yes.
hair.
Oh my God.
She was
Her
adorable.
cute little face.
She was like adorable this whole
Yeah.
movie.
I agree.
She had,
She's
like-
so charming.
She's like the heart eye emoji the
oh
whole
my
time.
God. Drew Barrymore in The Wedding Singer
Yeah.
is hard eye emoji.
Yeah, the whole time.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
But in like a really sweet way and not in like
Yeah.
the Ariana Grande way.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like
Sure.
Ariana Grande is not the hard eyes emoji. She's more like the, she's kind of more like, the one that's just like with the big eyes. Like, that's kind of what I think.
Yeah.
Because she's always like,
I don't see any comparison between her and Drew Barrymore.
okay, great.
Do you?
No, I was just
Oh,
thinking
okay.
about like people who also kind of fit hard eye emoji.
Oh, okay.
But I've
Ariana?
actually changed my mind. Redact that from the record.
Yeah,
I'd like to see that
scratch
redacted.
that
Scratch
from the
that.
pod.
Anyway, yeah, what great chemistry between these
They
two.
really do. And you're right. Okay, so we're like getting into the fact that like he gets married
Yeah.
but Linda, his fiance, leaves him at the altar. It's like heartbreaking because like
Heartbreaking.
the whole movie, Robbie Hart,
Yeah.
his last name's Hart. Ugh,
Heart. How could you not love that?
sweet. I just realized that.
Oh,
He
much
was,
better than Julia Gulia, am I
yeah,
right?
no kidding. Well, he was like so sweet. Like the whole
Yeah.
movie, like he's like wants to build everyone up around him and like make everyone
Yeah,
feel good and loved and
he
like
does.
seen.
Yeah.
And that was like really sweet.
Even 13-year-old boys.
Yeah,
So
I know.
sweet.
He had a big heart.
He did. He had a big heart.
Yeah.
Um,
Hart.
so true, girl. So Julia, she's a new waitress, and she is engaged to fucking Glenn.
And he's like literally the only thing in this movie that doesn't age well. But here's the thing,
Tell me.
like toxic masculinity
Yeah.
never ages well.
And that's the thing too, is that he ultimately loses in the
Yeah.
end.
Yeah.
The fact that he is so awful,
Yeah.
to me, it's like this does hold up because who among us has not met some guy who works in finance, sorry,
Or dated.
or anyone who we've dated.
Not even in finance.
Yeah.
You know, just
it is
any career.
Spans across industries.
Yeah,
These men who
men
are
are
like, oh, my
talented.
fucking ball and chain over
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
You know what we need to really stop doing?
Yeah.
Men, listen up. Stop resenting your partners for wanting to plan a good wedding.
Or be in a committed relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like when he's like, oh, that's your thing. Like, you go ahead and plan it.
I was
like,
disgusted.
can't you just be excited?
It was just like he was like the worst version of every man. You know what I mean? Like in every
Period.
sense of the word.
Period.
And it was we had no origin story for them and like how
Yeah.
they got together because that makes absolutely no sense at all.
Okay, but here's the thing. Haven't we all met a couple where like one person is so cool and great and hard eyes emoji, and then the other one,
Hello. Yeah. Yeah.
hello,
Hello. I'm right
Have
here.
you met our exes? Just kidding. Not mine, but yours certainly.
Hello. But it's so interesting because it's like he just like said everything you never want your partner to ever say out loud.
100%. Yeah.
And it was like so out there the whole movie.
She was always trying to like defend him. She always had to explain away his behavior. She was always embarrassed, but then she would still be so kind.
I know. She was so nice to him. I didn't get that.
Hate to see that.
I did
Hate to see a
too.
woman be nice to a man who sucks.
I know. And like the whole thing was like just like, and I don't know if that's like a sign of like the times or it is just
Yeah.
like, what do you call that when it's like a caricature of like, you know what I mean? Like
A stereotype, an archetype.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of just like this man who doesn't care and is just
Yeah.
getting married because like, well, as he said, she's paid her dues or something.
Yeah.
Or she was with me before I got rich.
Right. So he's like, I know I can trust her. But he doesn't seem to really care about
Trust.
Trust
Or
doesn't really
any
seem to be a
elements-
value of his.
Any elements of a relationship.
Has
at
he not
all.
heard of a prenup? I mean, he could marry anyone that he wanted if he
Yeah.
just, did a little research. But
was
he doesn't
so-
seem like a guy who does research.
It was so weird that he even wanted to that he even was like,
that he agreed.
or he like proposed.
Right.
That's bizarre.
Especially because, in this era, certainly, but even today, like men in their 20s and 30s and beyond, if they're unmarried, it's just like, well, he's a bachelor.
Yeah.
How cool is that? Like, he
Yeah.
didn't have any social pressures to get married. It's not like he needed to, dispel rumors about being gay or anything
Yeah,
like
or
that. He just,
the
like,
clock is ticking. Like
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't have the same kind of pressures that she did.
Right.
But she also her intentions were truly out of like love, which again, what?
Yeah.
What?
The more I think about it, the more I wish she like loved herself a little more.
So true, girl.
Because like he wasn't like being bashful about being like a chauvinist.
No.
It was like, honey, you pick out the flowers. I just ruin it anyway. It's like the weaponized incompetence. is,
Weaponizing
like,
competence, bitch.
at an
Yes.
all-time high for this guy.
Oh my God.
And it's
Yes.
just like, oh, come on.
Come on.
Drew. Don't
Girl,
you see this?
don't
Or
you
Julia.
see? Julia Gulia?
Julia.
Ugh.
I love it.
Should have been reason enough.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about Sammy. That's like the best friend, right? That's
The limo driver?
the limo driver.
I loved him.
Okay. I love him. He, even though like some of his behavior is a little morally compromised, like when he says there's going to be hundreds of drunk girls there, so like let's get laid.
Yeah.
First of all, let me see. I actually wrote down the quote. So he said, "We need to find someone to play with your ding dong," and I.
That's like a pretty.
And look, I think that is.
I've heard worse.
I think that it is totally fine, and even I would encourage, if you have a friend who's heartbroken, like go ahead, be a wingman, find someone to play with their ding dong.
Yeah.
However, I don't love that it was in connection to
the drunk
people.
Okay,
Drunk girls.
Yeah, sure.
So
I hear where you're coming from. I guess
so
I
let's just be
that.
consenting adults.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, like get yours.
Yeah.
That's what I think. He was doing his best with what he had, which was limited.
In 1998.
In 1998.
Yeah. But I feel like the movie was based like in the 80s.
Yeah, the movie is
For
based
sure.
in the 80s. It came out in 98, but it's supposed to take place in 85.
Absolutely. Yep.
So,
okay.
So yeah, I just think by the end, especially when he's like, actually, I am not fulfilled at all. This is deeply unfulfilling and I'm so insecure.
Yeah.
And I'm just like lonely and a total void.
And when he was sitting at the bar, he said, I just want to be loved and held.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Underneath all of it. Yeah.
Underneath all that facade.
Yeah.
And that's what made me feel like, okay, I feel like this character still has the potential to age well.
Yeah.
Because like he ultimately comes around, he recognizes that his behavior is gross. And he's like, yeah, I actually just like want to be loved.
And I feel like it was like a lot of talk too.
Girl.
Yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah.
I think we all knew.
Talk.
I think I
think
don't think that he actually slept with any women.
No, the whole show.
The whole
movie, sorry.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, let me ask you this, Cess. Have you ever practiced kissing somebody like they did in this movie? Have you ever just been like, let's practice?
That was the only part where I was like, whoa, I don't remember this.
Yeah.
Like,
it reminded me a lot of Runaway Bride.
Yeah.
When Detective Stabler, what's his name again?
Elliot Benson? Wait, no.
What's that guy's
Who's Elliot Benson? Wait, Stabler? Benson and Stabler?
Yeah, what's his name? Jacob,
Chris Maloney?
Christopher Maloney.
Okay.
When he is watching Julia Roberts' character kiss another guy as practice at the altar. I'm sorry.
I don't remember that part either.
Really?
No.
Blocked that out.
That was the only part in this whole movie. One of the only parts where I was like truly like, what?
Yeah.
You're going to practice?
Practice kissing?
What you're going to do at the altar with somebody else?
Yeah, that's wild.
That was insane. And it looks like a great kiss, too.
It really did. And you know what is also wild is that it seemed like such a reasonable thing to her friend, because she was gonna kiss her girlfriend and she was like, "Oh my God, no, you're crazy.
Why would
I
you
meant
kiss
with
me
him.
when there's a guy here."
I know.
Yeah.
That part to me was so funny that like she would not be taken aback by the absurdity of practicing kissing, but that she would be taken aback by the fact that she would just kiss her friend. She's like, "Oh, that's the part that's crazy about this."
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What?
That was bizarre.
Absolutely
bizarre. That was such an interesting choice to put that in the script. You know what I mean? Like,
but they needed to move it along.
Yeah, they did.
You know? They really did. They needed to kind of.
Do you think that they were like, and this is not a term that they had back then, I'm sure, but like, did you think that they were emotionally, or she was emotionally cheating on Glenn with Robbie?
I don't.
Okay.
Because I think that she genuinely like she genuinely like saw him and treated him as a friend.
Yeah.
Would I be upset if my partner practiced kissing with another person? Yeah, maybe. I think maybe I would.
Yeah.
But he was a piece
Maybe
of shit
you would,
anyway.
Molly?
Oh no, I certainly would.
Yeah, let's get real.
If someone said, "Oh, I just had to like practice kissing at the
The
altar."
wedding's fucking off.
Yeah, I'm afraid.
And he walked in like a couple minutes later.
Oh yeah.
And like
And
Robbie's like, I kissed her, but it didn't mean anything. Or like, blah.
yeah, and
it was
then the friend was like, "Oh, it was me." She like
kissed me. Yeah, so they weren't. And then she was so excited after that.
Oh yeah.
And then what's her friend's name?
Okay, hold on, let me look it up.
Maybe it's Jessie.
Okay, hold please. Her name was it Holly? No, that's Julia's cousin. Was that her? Fuck, sorry. You might be thinking to yourself, listener, are these girls prepared? The answer is I'm not.
I think it's Jessie. And it's played by Christine Taylor.
Yeah, it is Christine Taylor.
Well, you can cut this out, right?
I can, yeah. I mean, unless everyone just needs kind of a, yeah.
Do you edit
Jacob,
it,
Jacob, you got that?
Do you edit it, Molly?
Mostly no.
Okay. Holly. Oh my God, you're right. It is Holly Sullivan.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we didn't even talk about Alexis Arquette being in this movie.
Okay, yeah. Also, okay, I didn't realize that they were cousins. So now I do actually realize why she was so scandalized by the idea that her cousin would.
Oh, I don't like that. I didn't realize they were cousins. I thought they were just like besties.
I thought that they were
best friends.
Am I like?
No, but they're Julia Sullivan and Holly Sullivan. So yeah, they are cousins.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm really glad that we figured that out.
Me too.
And you know what? Shout out to Dude IDK for all of the excellent editing work that you do.
Yeah. You're gonna have your work cut out this episode.
We're keeping you in business, baby. Okay, let's see. Can we talk about George, the singer?
Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing. I thought that he sort of embodied that like glam rock look that seemed very popular in the 80s.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that they were misguided to be like, oh my God, he's such a fucking freak. I thought that he seemed like, I don't know, sort of the times.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. So a little unfair, in my opinion.
Agreed. I love that he only sang one song.
Me too. I thought that was so funny.
And he's like real life siblings with Patricia Arquette.
Yeah.
And
David Arquette.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I love it.
Talented family.
Yes, they are.
Can you imagine being like that famous and talented with your siblings?
No.
No.
She has passed.
Oh.
She has passed.
How sad.
In 2016. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's been
sad.
I know.
Aww.
I loved her in that movie.
Which one?
I loved Alexis Arquette in The Wedding Singer.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, so sorry. Now we're caught back up.
Yeah.
We're circling back to the movie at hand. Okay, let's see. I kind of lost my train of thought and my spot in my notes. So we're circling back. Oh, okay. You know what I love?
Yeah.
The part where after the whole getting left at the altar thing, Robbie is being heckled by the person who's paying him for this wedding singer appearance. And he says, well, I have a microphone and you don't.
Yeah.
And God, if that ain't the truth, that feeling of when you're like, well, actually, I have the microphone, so
I'm the one putting myself out there.
I'm gonna say what I want.
Yeah.
Or when you have a megaphone, anything like that. I mean, don't we all relate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. I love when he's saying "Love Stinks."
Me too.
That was a good scene.
It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. What a wholesome episode for us.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, so you know the Netflix show The Ultimatum?
Yes.
I feel like these people should have been on it.
Yeah.
They would be
so true.
So good. Because if Glenn and Julia were on it, Julia would be the hero of the show. Brand deals for the rest of her life.
Yes.
And Glenn would be the easy villain
Yeah.
because, of course, he would be not only participating gladly in the experiment, but probably with every woman there.
Yeah.
It would have been
And
messy.
I feel like not like a total as villain as Glenn, but like her mom. And
my
her name's
God.
Christina Pickles, the actress's name, and
Yeah.
she's the mom from Friends. She's Ross and Monica's mom in Friends.
Okay.
That's where we know her from.
She does a good job being
Motherly. Yeah.
She is
She's
mother.
a matronly act. Yeah.
Yes.
But I feel like Julia came to her a couple times and was like, this, what I'm feeling, I don't feel like is normal.
Yeah.
And like
she
had
was like,
those flags.
"Shh.
Yeah.
Nope.
Nope,
Quiet,
just do
quiet.
it. He's rich. He's rich.
Yep.
Yeah.
Totally.
Do it.
She's like, before you know it, you'll be ugly.
And that made me so sad.
I know, me too.
To like go to your mom and be like, I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. And
Yeah.
she's like,
who cares?
yeah.
Yeah, that was sad.
She's like, deal with, yeah.
So I guess we do have some context for like, why is she marrying this guy?
Yeah. It seems like a lot of pressure.
A lot of pressure.
And oddly enough, like she just really wanted to get married.
Yeah.
Which I get. Like you want the security and safety of like the
Yeah.
commitment of the relationship. But
Yes.
like we go back to that part of it. It's like she needs some like self-love too. Because
She really does.
if you really loved yourself, I mean, I've been there where there's a
Girl, we've been there.
You've been there. I've been there.
Yeah.
In that moment, it's like you don't need to be with him. What you need to do is like
Love yourself.
get a spine. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get a spine. Gross.
Grow spine.
Yes.
Keep that spine.
Keep the
upright.
spine intact.
Yes.
But yeah, more upright and
More
like
upright.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Get into your
absolutely.
solar plexus.
And period. That's exactly what I was going to say.
I know.
Okay, I think that it was really sweet that Robbie also really wanted to get married. Like you don't see that. Like that's part of why he's
was
such
like
a
just
cool
the
character.
opposite
He
of
was
Glenn.
the opposite of
He was the
Glenn.
total
I
opposite.
love seeing a straight man who can't wait to plan a wedding.
That was so
That
cute.
was so cute.
Remember the scene where they're still planning her wedding, but he like takes her to the photographer, that lady, and then they have to like pretend they're like brother and sister.
That was so funny.
And then like they bite each other.
Yeah.
I loved that.
I loved
that
it
was
too.
So cute.
There were so many times when I was a little kid where like my friends and I would be like, let's lie to people and say that we're siblings.
Yeah.
For what? I don't know. But it was funny.
It was funny.
It is funny.
I know. I agree, Molly.
Yeah.
That is funny. And
guess
you feel
what?
like so naughty when you're
I know.
doing
You're
it.
like, ha 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 ha. What a lie. They believe me. That's crazy. Oh God. Okay, a couple of things that maybe didn't age so well. Very, just like in passing things that they drop. There's a joke about Tourette's, a little bit of fat shaming.
Oh, the kid, because like all the adults had been talking about like how he's gonna go crazy and needs to go in the psych ward.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that too.
Oh, but then
there was someone else who was like, "Oh yeah, he probably has Tourette's." I don't remember what
the little
it was.
boy, because he's like, "Oh, you're a bitch" to Linda.
Yeah,
he said the Tourette's.
That was right.
Yeah,
yeah. And that's why you have to be careful what you say around kids.
They're listening.
Which I hate. I hate that kids are listening and repeating after us.
Remember what we were talking about at dinner last night with a small child at the table?
Girl.
Yeah. I don't know what he heard, but hopefully nothing.
Well, we'll find out in a few years, won't we? Or we'll find out from his teacher.
Yeah.
His teacher will say, "Oh, you'll never guess."
Yeah, what he was talking
what he
about.
said.
Yeah.
I did
about OnlyFans. Just kidding.
Yeah, I think that he probably was really into his movie, his little movie he was watching on his phone.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Hope so. But yeah. The Tourette's thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
A little bit of fat shaming,
Oh.
He's like, "Oh, you're fat, so you won't find love," or whatever.
Oh, and then the guy at like the wedding reception gone awry.
Yes.
Like making fun of the one table.
Oh, yeah.
It was like the only part where like Robbie, his spirit was like,
he hurt people.
Yeah, his heart was so broken.
Oh, he really was.
Yeah.
But that's because he had to put them down because he had been put down, and he was feeling like he belonged at ugly table 9.
Yeah.
For
sure.
And so he had to He had to really show us a couple of his flaws.
Yeah.
He's not perfect.
He's not perfect, but pretty close.
Pretty close.
Yeah,
pretty darn close.
Yeah.
Okay. This may not be a question that you can answer on the pod, but maybe you can. Or maybe we can ask it in a hypothetical. If you found out on a double date that someone was cheating,
Yeah.
what would you do?
I would tell my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good.
I would tell my friend.
Okay, good. And that's the correct answer.
Okay, thanks. Would you also?
Well, I did that once.
Oh,
and they're now married.
Okay, yeah.
So that's
you did the right thing.
I agree that I did the right thing.
Yeah.
But also she wasn't my friend.
Yeah.
She was someone who I didn't know. I think maybe she would have taken it a little bit better if we had known each other.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, congratulations to you guys.
Yeah. Mazel.
You guys, he's definitely still cheating on you. Anyways, I think that I don't think I could keep that to myself.
No.
We
have a conscience.
Look, I have a backbone.
Yeah, we have spines.
I have self-love.
We have spines and self-love. Yeah. And it's really interesting because Holly, her best friend, cousin, she totally like picked up on everything. She was like very intuitive to all of the situations going on and the different dynamics.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, she did try to,
Yeah.
hook up with Robbie.
Yeah.
But, girls got needs too. So
Look,
no, I don't blame her. I would have tried too.
Oh my God, of course.
Yeah, if
she was dressed up like Madonna, looking hot.
Okay, wasn't that like double date insane? Because she was
That
like
was insane.
cuddling up to him and trying to feed him and saying like, we look like a couple. And I'm like,
Girl.
You have no chill.
Yeah, she really did have no chill.
Which I like too.
Yeah, she's
so it's
putting
like,
it
why
all
do we
out
have
there.
to be chill?
She said,
Yeah.
I know I'm hot. I'm dressed like Madonna.
Yeah. Why
and I'm
wouldn't
ready to
you?
get laid tonight.
Yeah.
And so she put it out there.
Yeah.
And good for her.
And they did try to like slut shame her a little bit throughout the
little bit.
the movie.
Yeah. Everyone was like, oh yeah, well, you fuck everybody or whatever.
Yeah, basically something along those lines. She's like,
and she owned it. She said,
yeah,
well, you haven't or whatever.
Yeah, she owned it, and I appreciated that.
And I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But I do wish that she had been more forthright with her cousin / bestie, Julia, and been like, look, girl,
yeah,
you can't marry him.
No.
You just can't.
No.
Just don't do it.
Mm-mm.
She was a little bit too coy. She was digmatized by Robbie before she even slept with him. She was just like too goo gaga to even pay attention to what was happening to her poor cousin.
But it's like also challenging when like somebody's about to get married and
God.
you are like, because you don't know if like what you're gonna putting yourself out there to say like, hey, I'm kind of worried about this.
Yeah.
And maybe if like Julia had gone to Holly instead of her stupid mom, then it would have been a little different.
It could have been a little different if she asked for some honesty.
Yeah.
If she said, look, I need to know.
Because like one of the things I think I wrote down, because there was a moment where she was like talking to her mom.
Yeah.
And she's like telling her she's scared and she's confused. And it's like, confusion is not something I feel like. There's a lot of things I think you can feel before you make a big decision like that.
Of course.
But like, you don't want it to be confusion.
No. Yeah, the
It's
idea
like
of like cold feet, I'm like, dude, I don't know if that's really.
Yeah.
I don't know that we should really be normalizing cold feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Jacob certainly didn't have cold feet when he married Miriam.
Good.
He didn't.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're
It's
still
all good, he says.
You're still married.
They are still married and still in love.
Okay, yeah.
That's on record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
It's on the mic. He said it's on the mics. Yeah, I just feel like if you are like, we just normalize the cold feet thing too much.
Yeah.
So we need to stop that. If you're feeling like nervous about being perceived by 150 or more people, like,
Yeah.
A lot of people have stage fright.
Yeah.
And I get that. If you feel stage fright, that's different than like, oh, I'm making a huge mistake. But at the same time, once you get there, I know this. Okay, so are you good?
I'm good.
Here's the thing.
I'm okay.
Okay, she's okay. I knew this couple. They're now divorced, but they got in like this huge fight the night before their wedding, and they did not like come to a resolution before the ceremony. Like the first time that they saw each other after their big blowout fight was in fact at the altar.
Yeah.
And not only that, but her mom and dad were split up. He had an affair with somebody, and they like basically had like a new family.
Yeah.
And mom and dad had not seen each other since the divorce, and mom had never met his new family.
Oh my
that
God.
all happened at the wedding.
Were you at the wedding?
I was there.
Are they still married?
Oh no, they're divorced now.
Okay.
They got divorced like a year later. But this was when I was still drinking. My dad and I got really drunk at the wedding, and
Nice.
well, I mean, okay, my dad was like a little tipsy.
Yeah.
I was very drunk.
I bet your dad's so funny and cute.
Oh
when
my God, he's
drunk.
so funny.
Yeah.
His face is already bright red.
Aw.
He's a real tomato
Oh, it's
when
so
when
cute.
he's had a couple too many drinks.
Yeah.
So he and I left the reception to go like get some food because we had like the drunchies.
Yeah.
And my mom was so mad, and we were like, they're not gonna stay mad. Like literally, what are we even doing here?
Yeah.
They obviously do not like each other.
Yeah.
This was obviously one of those like, well, it's too late now. So I just was happily disappointing my mom, eating snacks at the bar around the corner with my dad. Shout out Mark Smith.
Yeah. Have you seen that TikTok video going around? I don't know. You're not as chronically on TikTok as I am.
That is true, but
it's
I'm happy to learn what's going on
in my
your
culture.
algorithm, on your culture.
There's like a guy, somebody's videotaping these vows that are taking place as this couple is getting married. And the guy said like, something about the lines of like, as long as you keep my belly full and my balls empty, we'll be okay.
Oh God, what?
This is real. And like
No.
both of their families, grandparents are, I mean, in the audience.
No.
Isn't that absolutely like just devastating?
Okay, I would leave someone at the altar if they said that.
I-
Like, there's very few reasons why I would leave someone at the altar. That's one where I would say, actually, you know what? We're going to wrap this up.
Yeah. Actually? Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
I don't believe that I will do that.
No, that's not horrible.
Ew.
It's real. It's
Oh
so
my God.
disgusting.
And someone put that on TikTok and said, ha 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 ha.
Well, everyone's like, no, it's
good,
we're not
good.
laughing at it.
Okay, good. What do you think the intention of the person who posted it was? Do you think that they thought it was funny, or were they like, get a load of this guy?
Well, there's like oddly enough, like a lot of like really like cringy wedding videos out there of just like,
oh my God,
like,
no.
you know, like the groom smashing cake in somebody's face.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Or
God.
being like super drunk and like.
I am so sorry that is like kind of in your feed right
no,
now.
it's not. I'm going in a different direction now.
She's rebranding.
Yeah.
I'm so glad.
But like
for
that
journey.
one,
Wow.
that vow like really was like
Ew.
really disturbing.
Oh God.
Yeah.
That, you know who would say that? Glenn.
Yeah.
Glenn would say that.
Yeah.
And
Glenn
her
would
mom,
say
and
that.
you know what? His mother-in-law would be like, ha 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 ha.
Yeah. Why doesn't
Bitch.
she just? I mean, where's
Why
the dad?
doesn't she just fuck right off?
Yeah, but I mean, like her dad's not in it. The picture.
I don't remember.
Right? I don't feel like he is.
I don't think. Huh.
Okay.
Interesting.
Anyways,
Um,
maybe she's pushing her daughter to do something she wished she.
maybe she's
done.
projecting.
Yeah,
Maybe
projecting.
it's-
That's
maybe
the right
she's
phrase.
she hasn't
Yeah.
done her inner child work.
No, she
That's for
certainly
sure.
hasn't.
Certainly has not.
No.
One thing that I forgot to mention right up top that I think really makes a difference is that Carrie Fisher was brought in to help kind of make the female part of the script more balanced. And I think you can really tell, like this movie compared to, a lot of Adam Sandler type movies, like she really is an interesting character.
Yeah.
She's not just like a piece of grade A meat, like
No, like the rest of the girls.
Oh God.
That's so. I didn't know that. That's so
Yeah,
interesting.
isn't that cool? I also didn't know that.
How progressive.
I know, right? The writer of the film actually was kind kind of aware that some of Adam Sandler's previous work lacked what we might call a woman's perspective.
Sure.
And so he was like, okay, we've got to make Drew Barrymore's character as interesting and like as likable as possible.
Sure.
And they found that the test audiences really didn't care that that Adam Sandler wasn't in every scene because there was more of a balanced cast, and I think that the women in this movie did have a little bit more. I mean, it's not like she's this like deeply complex character,
right?
But
that's true, because you had like more of like her home life. We had his home life,
exactly,
and social life.
Yeah.
No,
So,
it wasn't just one-sided. Okay, oh, that's so interesting.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And the director was friends with Adam Sandler since they went to NYU, and he was experienced by his own heartbreak a few years earlier. And I think that's beautiful.
I do too.
Turn your heartbreak into art.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing today. But the director was also a big fan of John Hughes, and like you can totally tell.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's very like well, it's takes place in the 80s.
Yeah.
I think he really loved that.
It's a real nod.
A real nod to the
You know what else I really loved?
Huh.
I think like there was like two things that like happened in the beginning of the movie and two things that happened at the end that like kind of sandwiched it all in. And one was like Steve Buscemi's character came back as the wedding singer for their wedding.
So funny.
Which I loved.
Self-taught.
And also there was like something about Billy Idol in the beginning of the movie, and I don't remember what it was, but and then at the end, which I think the best scene of the whole entire movie is on the airplane.
Oh my God. Are you kidding me? Of course.
That was incredible. And Billy Idol.
Amazing.
And then Shanna Moakler. Did you catch that, Molly?
I did catch that.
And she's kind of in the zeitgeist right now because of
relevant.
Alabama.
Yep.
Alabama Barker.
Yep.
It's Mama.
She's Mama.
She's Mama. She was really good in this. I've like never seen her literally in anything else.
Yeah. I haven't either, honestly.
But, and then I guess her and Billy Idol have dated.
Yeah, there's history.
There's a history there. But I loved that scene.
Oh my God.
It was so good. It was so good.
It was
and
so
like that,
good.
it's just like, I think in that moment where he got on, because like obviously Julia's like sitting in this airplane seat next to Glenn. They're going to Vegas. She doesn't want to do this.
Right. It's so weird though that she did, like, she seemed genuinely excited when she was like, we should just go to Vegas and get married. What?
Because she thought he was back with Linda. She thought Robbie was back with Linda. They had a series of miscommunications.
I know. It was a real comedy of errors in that way. A lot of miscommunication.
It was. And I get it. I mean, she was trying to psych herself up. She wanted.
She had, I hate to use the G word, but she did gaslight herself into believing that that's what she wanted.
Yes.
She's like, oh, well, this is what he wants, is to be married. Let's just go to Vegas and we'll do it. And he didn't give her the window seat.
Yeah.
Little bitch.
Yeah. Fuck that guy.
But you already knew when she was like, oh, can I look out the window?
Yeah.
And he was like,
lean over me.
No.
Yeah. And we already knew that that was like a thing with Robbie and Linda too.
Yeah.
So it was just like, but that moment when he comes on the intercom.
Oh my God. Girl.
I was like, this is 13-year-old Seth watching it for the first time thinking like, this is what's going to happen when you're an adult. Like these grand romantic gestures are going to be the standard.
Or like you're going to be in your late 20s just like sitting first class on your way to Vegas. What?
Late 20s, 30s. You know.
I'm sorry. But by that I just mean I'm not buying first class tickets when I go to Vegas. I'm afraid I'm getting the cheapest as long as it's not Frontier.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or Spirit.
I'd
be like, okay.
Yeah.
We should go to Vegas again this year.
Girl.
We had so much fun last time.
Oh my God. We had so much fun. That was last year.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Almost exactly a year ago.
Yeah.
Happy early birthday, Sass.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's like in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
We're getting
By
there.
the time that this episode comes out, it is going to be almost your birthday.
Wow.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
So Yeah, we should go back to Vegas. That scene on the plane is everything. I love a rom-com that ends in like, chasing someone at the airport or
Yeah.
like running
Ugh,
after
an airport. Yeah, an
girl.
airport.
Give me an
Or
airport
even
chase.
just playing
Pre
like
9/11 airport chase,
Yeah. Or that song "Leaving on a Jet Plane," if that ever plays in a movie,
girl.
too. Anything kind of like referencing.
Anything that is like really obviously. Yeah.
Because it's just like it mirrors that like sense like when you're younger and you're so hopeful about love and you think it's going to be this.
Yeah.
And
Little
maybe
did we
it
know.
will, but I don't we'll see.
Girl, we'll see.
But it's also just like, oh my God, it just like really pulled at the heartstrings.
Yeah.
That's like the perfect ending to the movie. This is the closure you wanted.
How do you feel about grand gestures?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I want the bigger the better.
The bigger the better, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as like not super public.
Oh, okay. Well, that is kind of what
I know. But I'm like, well, I don't like being saying happy birthday in a restaurant.
That's why I was surprised when you just said the bigger the better when it
but
comes
not
to
like
grand gestures. But
grand gestures in private. Yeah.
You want him to say, I wrote you a song
Yeah.
and then just kind of play it for the two of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see. So you want it to be grand, but not with an audience.
No audience.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
That's terrifying
No.
to me. I'm not a Leo like you, Molly.
Sorry. And I'm sorry for you for that.
Wait, aren't you a Leo?
I am.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you are. Yeah.
I would have, girl, I would have corrected you if you got that wrong.
Oh my God.
Okay, so basically this movie aged great.
did.
Rom-com hive stand up. Like this
Yes.
movie,
It is so feel good.
it really made it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will say in the past 24 hours, I have watched perhaps what are the most diametrically opposed movies. I watched A Woman Under the Influence last night, famously one of the saddest movies that has been made. And then today I had such a great palate cleanser starting my day watching The Wedding Singer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is.
So it really was. And of course, clocked in at 90 minutes.
Yep.
You gotta love that.
I know. I loved how short it was.
Yeah. They wrapped it up
That was
real
refreshing.
nice. Sometimes I just want to be entertained.
Yeah.
And I was 100% entertained by this movie.
Me too. So my opinion is it aged very well.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Oh, one other thing I was going to ask you is when you go to a wedding, do you prefer a live band or a DJ?
Well, if it was like him, I would prefer him.
Oh, well, of course.
But
yes.
I like kind of a DJ because then you get all the original songs.
Right. You're not, I mean, it's probably unlikely that your live band is going to play Yeah by Usher. And if they do, it's going to be kind of like
their own spin on it.
Their own spin. And I'm not sure I need kind of an interpretive remix. I don't know that I need like Daniel from Southern California to be singing
Usher's.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
Totally.
Yeah.
Thank you. But a live band really does it really does amplify the event.
Yeah.
In a real way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of energy.
A lot of energy.
Yeah.
But of course, it's got to be good.
Yeah.
And that's a risk. I always know that Yeah by Usher is going to be good. I don't always know.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, hopefully before you book somebody for a gig, you know that they're good. But but like in this era, they couldn't just like look up that person's Instagram and be like, okay, what's the vibe?
Yeah.
Look at some reels, look at some videos. They're just like, oh, I know this guy who's a wedding singer.
We didn't talk about what's that one actor? Who was the other wedding singer? Not John Belushi.
Oh,
John Levitt.
John Levitt.
Oh
yeah.
my God.
Wait,
I loved that scene.
That's his name, right?
John Levitt.
I know it's Lovett.
John Levitt.
Yeah, I think it's John Lovett.
John Levitt. Oh, that's
Lovitz. John
okay.
Lovitz.
Okay, John Levitt is an actor or an author.
Oh, okay.
Who is it?
Oh, are you thinking of Love It or Leave It, that guy? Anyway, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. John Lovitz was the other wedding singer, and he was funny.
That was so good. I think he's so ridiculous.
He's so silly. I saw him in person once on Rodeo Drive.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did. I was like very young. The only thing I knew him from was Rat Race. Do you remember that movie?
No.
Oh, it's not good, but maybe we'll do it for the pod one day.
Yeah. Not me, but
not you, but somebody else who can withstand it. Okay, the thing that really ages well about this movie is it did set the scene for 50 First Dates. I sometimes see this, I kind of see this as a prequel to 50 First Dates.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Really set the scene for
laying
that.
the groundwork.
And they laid the groundwork.
Yeah.
Anything else that we need to discuss about the movie before we get into some games?
No, I just think listen to the soundtrack. The soundtrack is so good.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Great.
Video Killed the Radio Star, Pass the Duchy. Yeah. It's great.
Are you in your 1980s nostalgia era?
Yes, I am
Love
now.
that.
And this movie did that for me.
And God bless.
Thank you.
Bless. Why did I write at the end Rosie? Oh, yeah, Rosie. She's a real one. That old lady.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Love her.
We didn't talk
She's
about
like,
her.
I know where you're going.
Yeah. And the
Love
meatballs.
her. Yeah. And
that was really sweet.
She knew. Rosie knew. Yeah.
Oh, she saw it. Everyone could see it. Everyone could see it.
Which is why I'm like, why didn't someone say, look, make it happen?
Yeah.
If I was there,
I
would say, look, make it happen.
Yeah.
Okay, Sess. I think that as we discussed yesterday, you said I have opinions and I need to get a mic in front of me to discuss this.
That was a little dramatic.
So typically on the show, we play a game of Cancel or Callback.
Ooh, yes.
Where listeners send us trends from the past for us to discuss. We could call this the past because it was the recent past of, 5 days. But I think that we do need to discuss celebrities in space and girl bossing in space.
Yeah. It's not giving what they think it's giving.
And that's so hard to see when someone thinks that they're giving something that it's really kind of giving the opposite.
They literally think they did the most inspirational, groundbreaking thing for women since like women's suffrage.
They said, we're changing things for women. What?
How? Well, how?
All you did was spend money.
Please tell me how.
Tell me how.
Last night I got on like TikTok that it's like it was a hoax or like conspiracy that they actually didn't go to space.
Oh my God, I would love that.
I
would love if it was a hoax.
I had a friend send me some videos.
Okay,
because it's like weird how like the doors like all. Are you on that side of TikTok? Okay, hopefully you will be now.
Yeah, now that we've said it out loud,
we've
all
spoken
will
it.
Be.
That like a spaceship. Listen, I don't know anything about any of this.
Look,
but
I don't know anything about
open
space.
Out.
Oh.
And at first this one went in this door before Jeff Bezos like put a wrench in it and opened it, and it just like all looked so fake and weird.
Okay.
But what I am not enjoying is that Katy Perry has found a way to like be condescending about her level and ability to hold so much love.
Yeah.
And like you don't really know how much you can love until you leave it all on earth.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, you didn't know.
Does that
mean? But that's also like kind of like in the vein of like when people say like you don't really know love until you have a child. And it's like,
my God. And it's like, fuck you. You think I don't know love?
Like maybe that's like I don't, I don't want to get like too much into this, but I'm also like, okay, you didn't feel love for other people until you had a child?
That's like fucked up.
Yeah. That is fucked up.
Girl, if you have to go to space to feel anything, girl.
But like her whole attitude, I was like, wait, what did she say? It's something outrageous like we went up to space to create space or some shit.
Oh my God. Girl, there's enough space in space. It's infinite.
And
we don't need to create. You know what we don't need to do? Create space. There's plenty.
We've got it.
There.
Yeah.
We got it.
And then Gayle King, like,
oh my God. Gayle King, girl,
I've always liked her until now.
Same, yeah.
I'm talking
Good Morning
about
America
Gayle
or whatever she's on. When I was a little kid,
they're themselves astronauts.
They're calling themselves astronauts. Guess what? That job already exists.
Yeah.
You have a job, Gayle King.
And you sat somewhere and went somewhere. That doesn't
mean you're a scientist.
Mm-hmm.
And like being in entertainment is a great job. Like you're on the news.
Yeah. You're
appreciate
Oprah's,
that. You're Oprah's
friend.
quote unquote best
friend. Read between the lines, allegedly.
Look, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Look, when I was a little kid, we had this DVD box set of like Oprah's.
Yeah.
It was like an anniversary box set or something where Oprah was just looking back, and I would say 50% of it was about her friendship with Gayle King. And so since I was a little kid, I was like, yeah, go off, girl. Love you. Yeah.
Love that. Love
story.
That.
Love a, a girl's girl. But I'm afraid that if you are simply just ravaging the earth for a girl boss moment, I'm afraid you're not a girl's girl.
No.
Because girls want to sustain an earth.
Well, it's like read the room. Read the damn room.
That is the problem.
All of them. Like I just like and I would love to hear from one person who's like, I was super duper inspired by this. Like, wow.
Yeah. Listener, if you were one of those people,
I'm like, where are they? I don't get how this is supposed to be inspirational, especially for women. How? Like, I literally don't get it. I know. Are we stupid? I just don't get it.
I don't get it. But you know what? Here's my theory. I think that many people get to a level of fame and power and wealth that they are only surrounded by people who say, oh my God, that's a great idea.
Yeah, they don't have anyone keeping it real.
Anyone keeping them grounded.
No.
You know? And like, God bless Oprah and Gayle King's quote unquote friendship, but I think they'd both be better off if they had somebody who was maybe a little bit more normal.
Yeah.
You know, a childhood friend maybe to say, girl, this is not going to age well.
It's I don't know. It's just like, what were they expecting? It was literally like 10 minutes. And then and then there's just like a video of like Katy Perry holding a flower.
With the flower.
And I can't take credit. I saw this TikTok that was really funny, but it was like, why isn't she like looking at Earth?
She's looking at a flower. Guess what, girl? There's plenty of those on Earth, but you left. You want to get more of those?
Why are you like looking down at Earth?
Yeah.
And seeing what that experience is like.
Yeah.
The whole thing, it's insane.
Yeah.
If you want to inspire me, like, donate $1 million to a food bank.
Like
Taylor Swift.
Yeah. She said it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's inspiring. That's
redistribute your wealth, and maybe I'll say, oh, that's cool.
Make the world a better place.
Donate to NASA.
There's so many tangible things that you can do to make the world a better place
for
other
platform
people.
To women in space who are astronauts, and actual astronauts.
Women in STEM.
And women in STEM. You know what? While you're at it, Katy Perry, why don't you uplift women in STEM?
Yes.
Girl.
That clip of her being like, I love astronomy and astrology and like,
oh my God,
the Pythagorean theorem of it all or something.
Yeah. What?
It's like,
girl,
word salad.
Yeah.
How did she get wrapped into this too? Like, how did Katy Perry even get into this?
I think that it started with Women's World. I think that when
the biggest flop.
I think that she said world.
Yeah.
I want to get out of here.
Yeah. We all want you to get out of here. Women,
Blast
that was
off.
like literally the worst song.
Oh my God. I know. What a fucking nightmare.
Yeah. But like, was it like Lauren Sanchez that like got this group together, or what was that?
What blackmail do they have on these? Do you think that maybe they were all like bamboozled into it? Like, if you don't go to space or pretend to go to space, like will out Gayle King?
Yeah.
Allegedly.
But I know Katie has a lot of stuff on her.
Girl, she's a blind item celebrity. I'll say that.
Based on the Beyond the Blinds episodes.
Absolutely.
That we've listened to.
Shout out to another podcast.
Yeah.
That's Women in Podcasting.
Yeah.
And Troy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Girl.
That was, I don't get it.
I don't get it.
What inspires you, Molly? What would have inspired you for you to see somebody do?
If it was related, as a woman,
yeah.
Speaking on behalf of all women,
as a woman, strictly, yeah.
Okay, so if it's related to space, I would be really inspired by, I don't know, some sort of like legislation that says we should be exploring space not for world domination or galaxy domination, but maybe just for like scientific research. That'd be cool if they like,
Yeah.
just
Like as if aliens aren't out there. Like as if as if like it's not already happening
girl,
by
as if we don't already know.
other parties out there. You know what I mean?
I so know what you mean. You know what I would love to see? I would love to see a group of celebrity women just riding public transit. Just riding the bus, making public transit cool again.
Yeah. Doesn't like Sarah Jessica Parker do that?
Oh, absolutely.
Do you think she does?
I think that she does.
Yeah.
I think that she likes to be recognized, which honestly, I would too.
Yeah.
I would love to be recognized on the subway.
I was re-listening to the Julia Roberts podcast episode of Beyond the Blinds recently, as in last night.
Love that.
And she doesn't want people talking to her, like at all. But she doesn't mind just because, there's like people that are like, I don't want anyone to look me in the eye. I don't want, I don't want them looking at me or talking to me. She's like, she does not care. People stare. She just, you can't talk, but you can look. Look all you want.
She said,
she want eyes on me, but no talking.
And honestly,
do you feel the same way, Molly?
Of course I do.
Are you a Julia Roberts?
I think I am, where I'm like, you can look, but you could keep your mouth shut. Just kidding. If you do recognize me in public, I swear to God, please come up to me and say, oh my God, I love your work.
Yeah, I love your work. I love your work. I love your hair.
Yeah.
Happy birthday in advance. Molly loves all of those things.
And I do. But if I was famous, I think I would really be fine with people looking, but I don't know if I would want people like coming up to me when I'm in the middle of a conversation type thing.
Or at a restaurant.
Not that I would blame those people, but just like it seems like there's a sweet spot for fame where you can still like go out and live your life, be recognized, but not be bothered too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd like to achieve that.
Yeah.
I'd like to achieve an early happy birthday from strangers who, may not know me, but appreciate my work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll happen, Molly.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, you had a brilliant idea again. She's full of them.
Brilliant?
Brilliant.
Oh, you're really.
When I heard when you were like, this might be dumb, I was like, okay, first of all, that is a crazy thing to say because this is such a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay. So we need to discuss we have a little segment, a little corner for who's targeting you right now.
On Instagram.
Or
ad-wise, yeah.
And for the listeners, none of this is not an ad.
No.
Not an ad. So Sess, I'd like to know who is targeting you. Who's coming after you on Instagram? Creatine?
Yeah.
Girl. Do you take creatine?
No. Do you?
No.
Do you? All I get are ads for creatine.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's
creatine and NAD plus, which is like,
what is that?
It's like a B vitamin. It's like it has a couple different vitamins in it.
Okay.
Okay. NAD plus.
Okay.
So I've actually bought that and I just started taking it this week.
Okay, great.
But the creatine, it's left and right. It's powders, it's gummies, it's pills. It's insane. Sarah and I actually talk about it all the time. She gets targeted heavily for creatine as well.
Yes. They know that she has a Peloton.
Yeah.
So.
And then maybe that's how I got into that.
Because you have a Peloton, right?
No, I don't.
Maybe it's just your association with Sarah. They said anyone in the circle of Peloton girls.
Let's infiltrate this. This friend group.
Wow.
Because a couple of them have Pelotons. Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow.
It's all I get. If I open up my phone right now, that's all you would see still. And I even listened to like an hour and a half long scientific podcast about creatine.
And what did they say?
And I'm like, I think I need to start taking it.
Oh my God.
You got to start small though, like small doses.
Why is that?
Because you have to do like a couple, like under 5 milligrams, I think.
Okay.
Because if you go up, it's really to build like muscle and gain weight, and I don't want to do that.
Sure. So wait, but why? So what are the pros? What are the benefits?
Well,
not that gaining weight and gaining muscle is a con, but what would be the pros for you?
Well, it helps with aging because it's like building muscle and tissue.
Oh yeah.
And which is something that goes when you get older. That's like one of the first things to go. So you want to have like good muscles.
Okay.
And it also can help with brain and bone health as well.
We need our bones, our brains, and our muscles to live.
Yeah. We need them to be strong.
We need them.
So
you know who should have taken creatine? Julia, because she doesn't have no backbone.
Yeah. Is that like a mic drop?
No, it wasn't. Certainly not.
Like, was that supposed to be that funny?
Fuck off. It wasn't supposed to be that funny. It was just a little ha-ha.
Sorry. I'm sorry, Mom.
You're never welcome back here. It wasn't supposed to be that funny. Okay. Now I feel like I have to defend, like, okay, no. I didn't think it was that funny.
Okay, good.
I thought it was a little funny.
It was a little funny.
It was only supposed to be a little funny. I wasn't expecting like ha 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 ha. I was expecting maybe a smile, maybe a chuckle.
I'm sorry. I just turned into such a dick. No, she could have used that. She could have used some serious or therapy. Yeah.
Or therapy. Okay, so creatine.
So I'm gonna look into it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're looking into it.
Yeah. Well, I'm staying at Laura's house, and her partner recently moved in, or is like in the process.
Oh, he for sure takes creatine, right?
And I opened up, like, because I was making coffee and like looking for a mug.
Yeah.
Creatine everywhere. So I thought maybe this is my chance to dip my toe in.
Yeah.
The creatine.
You know who we need to get on the mic is Greg to find out his experience with creatine. But you know what? I'll circle back, listener. I'll circle back.
Do like just a creatine episode. No,
you know what? I actually get targeted a lot on TikTok, like because of like a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
I worked with a brand that was kind of like wellness adjacent. It was like these little like energy shots with matcha. And so I did that like, for a very short time, a long time ago.
Yeah.
And now on TikTok, I get invites from all of these wacky brands that are like, this supplement. I've actually gotten one from like creatine. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Like shake up a smoothie on the mic?
Yeah.
ASMR?
Yeah.
No.
Ooh, I love AS. Oh, okay.
I know that you love it, but what a departure from my brand that would be. My personal brand.
Seriously.
Can you imagine?
No. Like girl. Molly, like you're not known as like a gym brat.
I'm
or like
really not known as a gym brat, and I certainly
girly.
would not be caught dead in CrossFit.
Yeah. Well, that's a little.
Wow. Sorry. I mean,
that's a little harsh.
Sorry, that was a little harsh. I'm feeling a little bit on the defense. A little bit defensive, you guys.
But maybe that would be a good way to like try it.
I mean, to get it for free.
Yes.
I mean, yeah,
exactly.
Definitely.
Just like how I'm gonna.
Yeah, just like
trying it at Laura's.
Absolutely, at Laura. Just like get it for free from Greg. Just like you got that can of tuna for free at Laura's house.
God.
Oh, wow.
Anyways,
I have been actually.
What are you getting targeted with?
Oh yeah. Okay. Thank you for bringing us back.
Yeah.
I have been getting targeted. I think because I've been buying dresses for weddings, like bridesmaid dresses.
Oh, okay.
I have been getting so many targeted ads that are like, alternatives to bras, just like boob content, like
pasties.
Yeah,
that,
like the
pull it up.
Yeah, totally. And there is this one.
Yeah.
There is this one brand that I see this woman about 8 times a day.
Yeah.
Putting these cups into her, like on her boobs, into her shirt, and like I am considering it.
Yeah.
Because like it's hard to. They don't really think when they design dresses like what are the big boob girls gonna do? They don't really think about that.
There's like
So
go to Seoul on 6th Avenue.
will do.
Store of lingerie.
Okay.
They have
what I'm looking for?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And shout out if you want to sponsor the podcast.
Yeah.
I will bear
so
it
will.
all. No,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
So will I.
I'll show it off.
Just kidding.
Just kidding. Other things that I have been getting a lot of targeted ads. Well, this is so boring. No one's going to care about this, but I am looking for a new couch. So I
sure.
think that
Hello.
We have some onlookers. Anyways,
Yeah. Didn't mind that onlooker.
she said you can look, but don't talk to me.
Don't you come in here.
Don't you dare talk to me.
But you can stare at
But
me.
you can look.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking for a new couch. So
Okay.
I just get tons of
Joybird. Yeah. You getting those ads?
they know that I have dogs based on the stuff that I buy.
they
Of course.
do.
So like
Yeah.
everything that I'm getting targeted is like for your nasty ass dogs.
Yeah. Oh, and there's like things that go across your couch
Yeah.
that like lay
Yeah.
across.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get those a lot.
I get those a lot.
Creatine 90% of the time.
That is so funny.
And then like dog stuff, the other 10%. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, me
I
too.
love it.
It's a sweet spot.
It's really our sweet spot. Well, I think that we've had about enough, don't you?
Yeah. I've had enough of myself talking.
I think we've had about enough talking.
Yeah.
You can look, but you cannot talk
Yeah.
anymore is
No.
what we say to each other today. Cecily, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me, Molly.
Oh my God.
And everyone go watch The Wedding Singer.
Go watch it. If you
It's
want to
so good.
feel good, if you want to feel happy.
You want to believe in love again?
Yeah.
Did it help you with that?
With believing in love?
Yeah. Or did you already believe in it?
I think that it did help me believe in love.
Okay.
I think that I sort of was, I was sort of starting to catch on, like maybe it's not all a conspiracy.
Sure.
Maybe.
Love?
What? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this movie really said to me, no, I think maybe it could be real.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Mending our hearts.
Girl, we're in our Whitney Wildrose healing journey.
Yeah.
We are.
For sure.
For sure.
We really are.
All right. Well, everybody be sure to follow at Did That Age Well on Instagram and at Did That Age Well Pod on TikTok. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.